3, 2, 1.
This afternoon in the lodge kitchen I'm going to make some chocolatey peanut butter crunch. This is a no-bake crunch. It's got chocolate, butter, digestive biscuits and peanut butter, and that's it. First thing we need to do is to melt some chocolate and butter together. Now I've got a pan of water boiling here. I'm going to put the chocolate and butter over the top of this pan of boiling water and turn it off and let it just melt with the heat of the steam coming up. I've got 50 grams of butter, 100 grams of dark chocolate and 100 grams of milk chocolate. So I'll just pop it on there, switch it off and then just let it melt really gently. This stops the chocolate from seizing, from it going a sort of granular texture, and just melts it at an even temperature. Whilst the chocolate's melting, I'm going to prepare my tin to put the biscuit crunch in. So what you need to do is get a tin roughly this size, I'll give you the dimensions later, and just rub it all over with butter, and then we're going to line it with baking parchment. I'll show you a very handy way of preparing your baking parchment so that you're not fighting with it all the time. What you need to do is to set your pan in the middle, and then you cut a wedge out of each corner up to the corner of the tin, and you make sort of a Maltese cross type design, and then it's much easier to fill the tin. So turn it round, do it exactly the same on the other side. We did this morning, making some banana bread too, and a little bit later on in another video I'll show you a handy way to line a cake tin. So just take those out like that. Then you pop this piece of baking parchment in and just press it to the sides of the tin. Much easier if I put enough butter in. Stick down just a little bit more butter in, and then we'll pop that back in again. Just need to get a bit more in there so that it sticks on. That should do it. There we go. Simple way of lining your tin. Whilst the chocolate's melting as well, we can crush these digestive biscuits. There's no need to put them in a bag with a rolling pin. You can just do them by hand. Just roughly break them up because you want a little bit of crunch in this. So you want a bit of texture. So just get your hands in and crunch them all up like that. Just get right in there. Very nice, satisfying job. And then we can add to that some peanut butter. I've made some peanut butter this morning. I've got a very handy machine called a Thermomix, which makes fantastic peanut butter. So I've made some crunchy peanut butter here, and I've got 200 grams of it. You can make it in a food processor as well. If you look up online, there's lots of recipes on how to do that. But essentially, I processed some roasted peanuts first and left them a little bit chunky, and then processed the rest of it all together so that I've got a really nice smooth paste with some chunky bits of peanut in. But you can use smooth peanut butter if you want, or any peanut butter. So all that peanut butter is going to go in with the biscuits. And again, I'm going to mix it in with my hands. It's just much easier, otherwise it just moves about in the bowl. So just get your hands in there and scrunch it all in together. Obviously make sure before you start doing this that you've got really nice clean hands. But I guess at the moment everybody's hands are super clean because we're washing them all the time. So scrunch it all in, and then we'll just wait for that chocolate to melt. So my chocolate and butter has melted now. I'll take that off the heat and just give it a quick stir, just to mix those chocolates and butter together, and then that can go straight in with your biscuits and peanut butter. And then we'll just mix it all together and quickly put it into our prepared tin. And mix all that together. And then this is going to go into the fridge to set for about an hour or so. That's it, all mixed in. Pop it all in there. Don't worry about the strange looking appearance. Once it all gets pressed down and set, it's delicious, it's absolutely fine. So just press all that in and smooth the top as well as you can. Get it right into the corners. And then we will let it set for roughly an hour. Now our chocolate peanut butter, squares, or will be soon, are nicely set. So I'll just take them off that piece of paper and then we'll cut it into squares, depending on how much you want to eat. It's quite rich, but you can see the nice bits of biscuit through it. So we'll cut those into squares like that. You have to be a bit careful at this moment. We're all sort of eating quite a lot. Pop some on this plate. And of course, to go with it, you have to have a cup of Yorkshire tea. So we'll have that and enjoy our chocolate peanut butter squares. Cheers.